no lie. Soka grow up to be a big man. Now, almost 50 years old. His grandchildren set out and plan to be famous like him round the world. Looking back at all his years and the things that he made us do. The grands have no doubts and no fears. They'll have the whole world doing it to move into the
WEFM, the new fresh sound. WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
You know what that last song was?
That was the winning song for 2024 Trinidad Calypso Monarch. You trying to test me? You're trying to test me?
Soca, Soul of Calypso, Marshall Montano. A lot of persons don't know that, you know. That soca is what do we call that? Not abbreviation.
Derived from?
No, not derived from. This is Soul of Calypso. It's soca. What do you call that?
Soul of Calypso.
Yeah, soca.
An acronym? Would it be an acronym?
Would it be an acronym?
Yeah, it would be an acronym.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's an acronym for Soul of Calypso. A lot of persons don't know that. But we're back. You're listening to Ari.
Trying to test me on?
No. You're listening to Ari and Roleza, and we're activated mornings this morning. Just two quick announcements. At 8:05, we have Carl Dixon, who will be joining us this morning to discuss his race for president of the Football Federation, Civil San Grenadines Football Federation. Their elections, I believe, is tomorrow or Thursday. I think it's
21st.
So Thursday, yeah. The elections will be held on Thursday. So be sure to tune in to ask the necessary questions, because a lot of persons had questions for our last guest last week, but we didn't have the time to entertain a lot of the questions. But we have a bit more time this week. So tune in, ask your questions. We've received a number of complaints regarding one caller, and we've made the collective decision to no longer take calls from said caller. Mr. Hamilton will no longer be accepting calls from him at WEFM, especially on activated mornings, unfortunately. As a journalist, I do believe in free speech and being able to express yourselves freely, especially on a public platform. But Mr. Hamilton has displayed a lack of respect for both listeners and hosts of these shows, and so this is our decision going forward. If you're just joining us, we were discussing our police officers underpaid and overworked. We were discussing the comments made by Superintendent of Police Clauston Francis, who is the head of the Criminal Investigations Unit, who was calling for more pay and better time off for his
I'm sorry. I get so easily distracted. It's so funny.
For his staff. We have some comments here regarding that. You mind reading some of them, Roleza?
Your hair look nice. So somebody comment. That's why I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just very easy distracted. But yeah, I was told that your hair looks nice. That's the word that was used. Okay. All right. Getting back to serious matters here. All right. So we have a comment here. I'm not agreeing to raise CID officers' salary because as a police officer, you are eligible to be transferred to any department. That's a point. That's true. All right. So what happens when you transfer, to example, traffic as a constable? Your salary would be more than another constable who may have much more years of service or experience. The best thing in my view is to give them the necessary days off. All right. Fair point. Don't forget, when this government went into office, the PM said that police officers put their lives on the line. So he raised their salary. So a constable salary is more than a junior clerk salary in the public service. All right. Good morning.
Yeah, I remember that. That is true.
And all ranks of non-commissioned officers and constables' salary are above the equivalent officers in the public service. All right. I can take the point of if you raise that salary, then that means that If they are transferred, then they're going to end up earning more. Could it be a case where, let's say, something is added to their salary, and if they are transferred, then they
like
no longer
allowance.
receive it, right? Like
okay.
an allowance,
yeah.
But I think there's another point here in terms of the necessary days off. Maybe that could be considered, because sometimes it's not necessarily just a matter of pay, but it could be a matter of not necessarily having enough time to yourself and enough time to your family. So would the officers be okay with that being the alternative instead? Don't know as yet.
We don't know unless we hear from the officers.
Right. So good morning. Welcome to the modern workforce. Why don't we start paying people to stay at home and just think about working? Already, the person's joking around here. What are the results rates in relation to promotion expectations? Do you promote someone based on time served or on their ability to demonstrate that they have deserved to be promoted? Example showing that they have the skill set needed to meet the post expectations, which is why it is I said that I'm not saying to promote someone just based on their years of service, but it has to be their demonstrated work that you're going to base the promotion on. So no, I don't believe in just giving somebody a promotion because you've been in the organization for 5, 10 plus years. It has to be demonstrated efforts. And remember that promotion is also like a reward mechanism. It shows that the person is valued within the organization. It shows that you are recognized within the organization for the work that you do. Sometimes the promotion doesn't always come with an increase of pay, but sometimes the promotion helps to make me feel as if, or helps an individual to feel as if they are valued, as if they are actually contributing to an organization, that they are making a difference.
Good morning, Shamrock Pepper. It's my good friend. I just say telling him morning randomly. Pepper prosecutes at either the magistrates or the serious offenses. Is a police prosecutor. I can't remember. But good morning to you, Pe.
Right. We have a voice note here. All right, let's take the voice note.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Good morning. I am on a high this morning. I'm not too sure if this is fit for public broadcasting, but I'll give you a 30-second version of a story where all the organs of the body met for a meeting to determine which one was of greatest value. Everybody had a chance to say something. Now the rectum sat silently, and as he was about to open his mouth, everybody said, "Oh, shut your mouth, you're just a rectum." So he decided that he would go on strike. So he went on strike, and what happened? Because he was not functioning, every other organ stopped functioning. They were not able to perform because all of that stuff backed up, and the rectum had his say. Like I said, I don't know if this is fit for public broadcasting, but I just wanted to make a point here.
Yeah, but let's also consider that a lot of officers try to avoid CID or try to leave the CID because of the workload. I do think that some incentive should be provided for them to continue working and working effectively, because I said it is very important. I can't downright say CID is more important than other departments, but I would say that the work that they do is very important, and I do believe that there's nothing wrong with the CID head calling for more pay or time off. Now, persons argue that it maybe should have done it privately. Again, we don't know what has been the cry privately. We don't know what exactly he has proposed that's been shut down. We don't know what exactly is going on there, but it has to be something why he felt the need. And Superintendent Francis is not a wet behind the ears police officer. He's been in the force for a number of years. There must be a reason why he felt the need to make it public knowledge that this is their plight.
And I think just to sum this up a bit though, I think some serious stock taking needs to be done within the police force, because the police force, inclusive of the Coast Guard, are losing some of the most better and seasoned officers that we have here in SVG, right? You go and persons are being educated, they have that facility to achieve higher education, whether it's a university degree and even further. And And I can't even just say the police force. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is losing some of the more distinguished officers. And something needs to be done to address this matter, because where would that leave policing here in SVG if we are losing the best?
The thing is, it's not just policing. People are feeling that there are better opportunities out there, and then the public and private sector cannot compete with the pay and the amenities allowed to persons in other countries or in other countries, both in the Caribbean and the wider world. Because when you hear people tell you, listen, this is what I did in St. Vincent. I was a Coast Guard officer. Let's take a quick call. Morning, caller, you live?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
To you, Roleza.
Morning.
How you sound so soft? Anyhow.
I swear, Dave is the only person that call in and say your name correctly.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dave.
Come on, what is this to get in? Well, don't make us spoil the name, because I love your name. I ain't see the face. I don't know your face, but I expect the face to be a beautiful face. I know your voice and all of that stuff. But you sound like a very good, what should I call you in all of this? In all this police matter and so on. Well, what I would like to say immediately, our Minister of National Security, and that I think happens to be the Prime Minister, he has his work cut out for him. And this is rather interesting at this crucial time to be hearing what I'm hearing, police leaving the force and so on. I thought, I remember the Prime Minister sounding very happy and proud of, he called it his police. He made a address in the past about my police, his police, because he felt so comfortable with the police. And this raises a lot of questions, or it opens up a lot of can of worms. St. Vincent is never a dull place when it comes to issues of this kind. And they're all intertwined with the politics of the country, right? We have had several commissioners, and we need to study this thing carefully. Somebody I hope is doing a good research on why we have had so many police commissioners in a short space of time. I mean, and apart from hearing stories and so on, they have been quite frequent about some people not able to perform their duties, with somebody looking over and all of that. So congratulations, if I can say that, to Mr. What's his name again?
Francis.
I know the name. I can't. Francis here. This is a bold move. I would like to add certain things, but I won't wish to do it at this time because, with all what is happening, I call it a crucial time because we are not too far from elections, and that's why I said the Prime Minister has his work cut out, and I don't know if it's a threat, if it could be seen as a threat to his governance and how he speaks to the police or what, that's just speculation, but I think it's rather interesting. Like mentioning about the different commissioners that we have had, and quite a few. We haven't had maybe since Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, we haven't had a commissioner for so long. So, St. Vincent's bubbling, really bubbling, and I'm glad you young people are trying to come to terms with it. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks for your contribution, Dave. Joshua says Dave is a fisherman trying to throw sprat to catch a whale. Carla says Dave is floating. They always go out and put on a nice voice for you and Crystal. Hey, good morning, Crystal. Good morning.
Well, you would be concerned if you put on a nice voice for you. So
listen, it's 2024. Everybody have rights.
Equal inclusion. I don't believe you just said that. I do not believe you.
But no, I do think that is a very serious problem that we're having because if we're losing the persons that are really and truly supposed to protect us and enforce our rights, then.
All right, and
where does that leave us?
All right, and Demon is saying, good morning, Ari, and release.
My
name is Release today, guys. I tell you, we need to do a little quiz to see how do you spell my name.
That should be a thought to me. We should have giveaways.
All right, so good morning, Demon. But he's saying that long ago they had to write an exam to get promotion, which is the other thing. Like, what exactly is the basis for getting a promotion?
Remember, you cannot dismiss the internal politics and the general politics when it comes to some of these promotions, and people might not want to hear it, but it's the truth. No matter who is in power, that is the case. We'll take one final caller as we wrap up this segment.
Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning. Yes, you were talking about the police officers, right?
We were.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have a question, not a question, right? Because I am positive that long ago, in order for you to be promoted, you have to write an exam.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still doing that now. Am I right or wrong?
Well, that's the thing. I as far as I know, it's not happening. But somebody could always clarify that for me.
Yeah, because yeah, I think it used to happen long ago. I can talk because I had experience with them. So. Not me as per se as a policewoman, because I had somebody in the police force, and in order for him to be promoted, he had to write an exams. So I don't know what they're talking about now. What they want, higher salary, the more promotion they get, is the lazier they become. You notice the amount of vehicles that the government is getting for them? No, don't laugh. It's a serious case.
It's interesting. Sorry, you just made me chuckle.
All right, my dear. You have a pleasant day.
You as well. Thank you.
I'll say quickly, I can't speak from a place of authority, but what I do believe is that whether or not you take the exam, the force has grown since over the past 10 years, I'd say. And so even if you take the exam, it just means that your name will go up, but you're not necessarily, it doesn't qualify you immediately for immediate promotion. I
think what it does, though, the exam allows for a level playing field initially at the start, right? But it has to be the exam along with your proven track record.
Yes, so it has
to go hand in hand.
It might start off based off qualification and move forward to the more of who you know. Well, we'll see. We will see. But I really do think that a clear and complete reevaluation of the entire Royal St. and Grenadines Police Force is needed so that the government could decide how is it that we can keep our officers from leaving. Because the more the quality of officers and the qualified officers leave, the more it gives way for the bad apples to invade the forest.
Why is it forest?
I don't know. I didn't want to say garden. I didn't want to say garden. Forest sounds serious. So look how we having off a conversation. But the time is 8:03, and your time check was brought to you by New Haven Funeral Home. When we're back, we're gonna be sitting with Carl Dixon, who will inform us on what are his plans if elected as the St. Vincent and Grenadines Football Federation's new president. Will be reigning president. We'll be right back.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of life, that doesn't make it any